ろ心中察しよ
これはひどい。
なるほどね。
Here's one I've been excited about to open because the character is a bit different from its source material. This is the navigator of the Straw Hat crew, the cat burglar, Nami from One Piece, made by Kai Studio. However, it's Nami using the 3-sword style, which was drawn by Oda for the One Piece magazine volume 13. The box itself is rather small, which should have been expected since the statue itself isn't really extravagant, but I'm used to resin statues to come in larger boxes. I absolutely adore Nami, and she became one of my top 3s out of the Straw Hats after her Whole Cake Island, so I'm surprised it took me this long to get a figure of her, and it's not even a canon version of her, but it looked too great not to get it. Immediately, I want to note, love the red coloring of her dress or whatever the thing is around her waist. Here we got the headpiece, which does look a little frightening looking because of how the mouth is shaped, but it'll look better once the sword is in. Then we got the 3 swords, which are pretty much identical to one another. However, the scabbards for the swords all have unique patterns, which I'll show later. However, I'm glad the handles are colored a bright red, my favorite color. Now time for the body itself, which turned out amazingly. She's got the standard bikini top Nami usually wears. Love the flower-like patterns on the dress. I like how the legs are positioned, makes it easier for the statue to hold itself. And now for the base, which is a simple treasure chest with hordes of gold coins on the ground. Perfect for Nami since she loves money. Also, the coins have a skull mark on them. Can't forget to show off the bottom, which is a simple black and white picture of the statue itself, as I got number 82. Placing the statue in its base is pretty straightforward, with only one of the legs connecting to the top of the chest, while the other leg helps balance the statue from behind. And now to connect the headpiece first, so I can finally hide the mouth, since it looks pretty funny without the sword. Though I will admit I actually placed the sword in the wrong position when recording the unboxing the first time, and only noticed it after I started editing the video and looking at the box for the artwork to make sure I was right. I had to retake most of the footage to get the right version out, which was pretty annoying on my part. But placing the other swords was pretty easy at least. Sometimes it can be difficult to have the statue or figure hold the handle. Also, the sword in the mouth was pretty loose, so I had to put the sticky substance to help it hold it into place. The statue is roughly 9.5 inches, and it costed me 149 USD. Pretty good for a statue this nicely sculpted. Here's a quick display of the statue. I love the pose Nami is in. The hair and the dress flowing is nicely done, and I really like the way she's holding the swords. Kinda reminds me of the way Levi holds his blades from Attack on Titan. I like how one of the legs is clearly seen. The designs for the scabbards all have a cool color palette. The different shades of orange for the hair is incredible, and she has the standard tattoo on her left shoulder. The choice for the base is a neat touch since Nami loves her treasure, It's cool that Oda drew Nami using the 3 sword style, and I'm glad to have bought this statue, even if this Nami is more of a what if version and a non-canon, because I usually prefer when the characters I buy are faithful to its source material. This honestly could have been a random orange-haired swordswoman, and I still probably would have gotten the statue because it just looks great. Oda also drew Zoro using Luffy's Devil Fruit powers, which looked really silly compared to this Nami where she looks really cool. Here's a quick close-up of the scabbards, one light blue with white clouds, a purple one with what appears to be bubbles, and a white one with strips of red, yellow, and green on them. I do want to say, because there's only 2 women on the crew, there's always a question of which one does one prefer in terms of their favorites between Nami and Robin, and I always liked Robin more after the Water 7 saga, but in more recent arcs, while Whole Cake Island was occurring in a manga, I now like Nami a little more than Robin. However, that can always change since I think Robin was pretty amazing in Wano. I can't wait to see what else Nami does in the future, since I imagine she'll be crucial to finding Laugh Tale once the crew has all 4 rolled poneglyphs. With all that said and done, I really love how the statue turned out, and I think Kai Studio did an amazing job. I know Bandai Spirits made a figure of her as well, but I think Kai Studio did a better job in my opinion. I do plan to get at least one more Nami figure because I want one more faithful to the source material, and possibly a Robin one as well, since they're both great. But until then, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and see you for the next one.